Hi, my name is Brandon Flynn. I'm playing Luke in Kid Victory. Luke is a 17-year-old curious kid who lives in the Midwest, and he has some traumatic events happen to him. And he is, at the play's beginning, just getting back home from these traumatic events and striving to deal with himself after these events and dealing with his family.
And what is your background? Where have we seen you before?
You might have seen me on CBS's new show Brain Dead with Tony Shalhoub, and you will see me coming up on the Netflix original series 13 Reasons Why as Justin Foley. Other than that, nothing.
We are with Jeffry Denman, who we know is choreography, but now he's taking on a different role. Who are you playing in Kid Victory?
The role I'm playing is Michael.
And who is Michael?
Michael is, it's hard to do without giving spoilers really, but Michael is a man who abducts Luke, the young main character of the piece. And they have a very complicated relationship. He is a very complicated individual. And I don't want to give too much away.
This sounds so different than what you normally play.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, are you choreographing anything this year? Can we see you choreographing?
Not in New York yet, besides a workshop that I might be working on, but I am directing and choreographing Newsies out at Tuacahn in the spring.
Nice. And can we see you doing anything else this year?
Right now, I'm actually in Cabaret. I'm doing a little bit of what we call double duty this week, performing in Cagney as Bob Hope, and then this is my final week with them, and then I'll do Kid Victory until I have to leave for Tuacahn.
Roscioli, I play Emily.
And in Kid Victory, what does Emily do? Who is Emily?
She serves as Luke's confidant. She's really the only person that he's comfortable expressing his innermost feelings to.
And can you tell us your background?
Sure. I grew up in Easton, Pennsylvania, and I studied theater at DeSales University. And then after doing a couple theme park shows, I moved to New York and started auditioning and was in Wicked for a long time playing Elf.
My name is Blake Zolfo and I'm playing Andrew.
And who is Andrew in Kid Victory?
Sort of the love interest, almost role model to Luke. He's the big brother type. You want to be friends with him. You hopefully want to date him. He's a little bit further along in his life journey and sexuality journey, and I think that's a really potentially great thing for Luke. Yeah.
And where have we seen you before?
Me as an actor?
You as an actor?
If you caught the national tour of The Lightning Thief, I've done some work at the ART in Boston. I went to school in Boston, so if anything at the Boston Conservatory, that's real. I just did a one-man show at the Metropolitan Room. I will be doing a one-man show at the Metropolitan Room in April, May, June. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Daniel Jenkins. I played Joseph, father.
And who is Joseph in the show?
Joseph is the dad of our main character. He's an orthodontist in the town. He has a secret, which is always good. And his wife is this lovely, somewhat hyperactive woman that he gets a lot of input from. And he's a big part of the community and feels that responsibility, along with the burden of this secret, a great deal.
I'm Wyndham, and I'm the choreographer for Kid Victory.
Now, where have we seen your choreography before?
Recently, you've seen my choreography at Disneyland, where I choreographed the first live production of Frozen, a collaboration that I did with Liesel. I think this will mark our 7th collaboration together as Liesel's director, me, choreographer.
Now, what kind of style can we see in Kid Victory?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. the musical really requires a delicate hand as far as the physicality of the piece. So you're not going to see a very traditional style musical theater. Will have sort of an emotional quality to it, something that's very pedestrian, something that's very accessible as far as what we're used to seeing people doing, but added with a sort of musical theater flair that's a bit magical and a bit mysterious and a bit emotional and dark.
David Loud, and I'm the music supervisor.
Now, I know what you've done before, but can you tell our audience what other shows you've worked on?
Well, I've worked a lot with John Kander. I've had the pleasure of doing The Visit with him, and the Scottsboro Boys, and Steel Pier, and the Off-Broadway show, and The World Goes Round.
Now, what kind of music can we expect from the show? Is it traditional Kander?
I don't think there's anything really such as traditional Kander. He writes in many different ways for many different projects. I mean, it's always good music. I guess that's the tradition of John Kander. But it's music that comes from these characters. I mean, John was a playwright when he writes. He writes in the character of the people that he's creating in his show. So it's an interesting smorgasbord of styles in this piece, actually, and very appropriate for this story.
Is there any typical cadence to it?
There's a haunting quality to this story, and that's captured in the score. There's a very unsettled, not quite sure where we are feeling in some of the music that helps with the storytelling.
And what would you like audiences to take away from the show?
For me, one of the extraordinary things about this piece is that you have no idea where it's going. As the story unfolds, you don't know where it's going. You don't know who is going to affect who in a way, and there's no way to predict the ending of this show as you watch it. And I find that very refreshing, and it sort of oxygenates your brain a little bit, not to be in the land of expectation and cliche. So I hope they come away with as fresh a feeling as I do.